Okay, let's move on to the future now. 1 week from today, Inauguration Day, I'll be down there in Washington. But how did we get to this point? And how did your grandfather's Republican Party turn into the party of the people? Donald Trump has single-handedly turned the grand old party into the party of the working class, beyond anything we ever saw in the 1980s with Reagan Democrats, who all went back to the Democratic Party in the 1990s and voted for Bill Clinton. And this all happened while Democrats continue to portray the Republican Party as the party of the rich, the party of the billionaires, the party of the greedy bankers, people that work in finance. But in reality, the opposite is now true. The dirty little secret over the last 30 years is how many billionaires really support the Democratic Party, supported Kamala Harris, supported Joe Biden, supported Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and John Kerry and Al Gore, that support the leftist agenda. And those billionaires, especially in the world of finance, not only use their personal wealth, but also direct investments to support leftist causes. From the trans agenda to the green agenda to DEI, some of the names you will recognize, like George and Alex Soros, but some I'm sure that you have not heard of. But most of these billionaires live in the shadows, like BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, who was all in on DEI and ESG when it was in vogue. Take a look.
I believe stakeholder capitalism is not political, it is not woke, it is capitalism. More than ever before, especially during the pandemic, if you were not focusing your employees and the issues around your employees, you were not doing your job.
Joining us now for more, Scott Walter, president of the Capital Research Center, which studies how special interests are infecting our politics. This has been going on a long time. Scott also wrote the book on it, Arbella, the dark money network of leftist billionaires secretly transforming America. Scott, it is a pleasure to have you on. Your book exposes a group called Arbella Advisors, a dark money operation that literally channels billions of dollars into progressive causes. How big an impact is this having in our elections right now?
Well, a little less than it used to, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you are still talking about folks with endless sums of money for all intents and purposes, right? I mean, some of these people are sitting on top of trillions of dollars worth of assets.
When did this shift start happening? When did the Democrat Party go from being the party of the working class, FDR's party, to the party of coastal elites and billionaires?
Well, it's been building in recent decades. It probably back in Reagan's time, maybe you couldn't quite say that, but by the time you're hitting Barack Obama, who of course himself went to elite schools, the people going to elite schools and running the most elite companies in America have just gotten worse and worse, although you made a point about how there's a certain bit of mercenariness to it, right? I mean, a lot of them are starting to change their tune now that they're staring at a Trump administration.
Yeah, that's interesting, but the people changing their tune are very much in the minority. Sure, Donald Trump now has Elon Musk. I guess you could make the argument for somebody like Mark Zuckerberg. The left has a lot more billionaires that are funneling, as you know, dark money into their politics. Who are their analogs on the right, besides people like Elon Musk?
Well, there aren't many. I mean, obviously, Mark Andreessen would be another significant funder, both in business and in politics. But you're quite right. There's still the minority of the overclass.
Can you tell me the role that foreign investment is playing in our politics?
Well, of course, while Mr. Soros has been nice enough to take out U.S. citizenship, he completely comes out of the finance world. That's where he made his billions originally. And, I think many people consider him rather foreign. He certainly isn't very fond of the U.S. Constitution and anything ordinary Americans would recognize as America. Another famous fellow like this, who's a very big backer of the Arbella Advisors Network, Hans-Jürg Wyss. He's a Swiss billionaire, and he has run $250 million through the Arbella network.
Yeah, just yes or no, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't funnel $400 million to Joe Biden in 2020. Does Joe Biden win that election?
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
Does Joe Biden win that election in 2020?
Oh, well, Zuck bucks were a huge factor in the election. I think they probably were the single biggest factor in 2020. Yes,
Yeah.
and we were designed to boost turnout, and obviously that's what Biden and Kamala
Huh.
Harris did not get this time.
Yeah, Scott, look, I've been excited to talk to you all day long. This is a story that nobody talks about, these dark money networks, but this is politics in 2025. Hopefully, the incoming administration can highlight this, but also start the process of bringing this to an end. People like George Soros have no business doing what they're doing. Appreciate you being with me. Scott Walter, nice to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.